Hi everyone, this is Melissa with Painted Textures. Today I'm going to show you how I textured this image using one of the textures called Summer Balloons from the June 2013 2 for 5 Friday set. I will be working in Photoshop, although these textures will work just as easily in Photoshop Elements. This is the image I'm going to texture. It has been previously edited with Painted Textures Actions and textured with ribbons, a really fun texture from the Graphic Arts collection that you can find on my website, paintedtextures.com. The first thing we're going to do is take our texture, Summer Balloons, using our Move tool and swing it right onto the image of our little girl here. Press Command T or Control T to see those bounding boxes and just resize them. There we go. Press Return or Enter to seal in the transformation. And then begin lowering the opacity so you can see where your image is. Like this. And right now we are on the blend mode normal. Now, my textures are very strong and very striking, and they were meant to help you create paintings from your images. So the blend modes of overlay and soft light really will not do much for them. They really don't let them show up in their full glory. So I like to use stronger blend modes such as multiply, hard light, so that they begin to show up on the image. Today I'm going to actually be using the blend mode normal and allowing the texture to be almost completely visible. I pull it back in opacity so I can see where my image is. The first thing I want to do is to remove the texture off of her face and arm, but retain the color of the texture. All textures have two properties, the actual texture and their color. So we want to keep the color of the texture on this image because we want her to look like she is part of the rest of the painting. We don't want a cutout photograph to stand out from the texture. We want the background and the foreground to be integrated and related to one another. So this is how we do that. No matter what blend mode you've chosen, let's say hard light, you still are going to go back up to normal, put the opacity to 100% so that you can see the entire texture. You're going to go to your color picker and click on the area that's around the face. Press OK. Pull back the opacity so you can see where she is. You're going to press B for brush, and in your brush picker, make sure you have a nice soft brush selected. You can increase it by pressing the right bracket key or decrease the size by pressing the left bracket key. Make sure your opacity of your brush is 100%, and now you're just going to brush away the texture from her arm like so. And I'm going to leave a little bit on her arm because I want this image to look like part of the painting, so I'm going to decrease the opacity and just take a little bit away like this. Okay. Okay. The next thing I do is start to remove some of the texture off of her hair as well, and off of her bow like this to bring her out a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is actually go down to the original photo by using a white mask on this layer, black brush, so black in the color picker over here, B for brush and get a nice soft brush again, and at a very, very low opacity, I'm actually going to paint away the entire texture, color and texture from off of her face to bring back some of the original color of her face and her hair and the bow that she's wearing, like so. And the same for her arm. So what we're actually doing is bringing back some of the pink in the original photograph. This is the original photograph. Here we go. So I keep working away very gently. Keeping the face slightly brighter than the arm because we want the eye to be drawn to the face in this image. Okay, I kind of like that. So now what I'm going to do is go layer, merge visible. Now I'm going to put the finishing touches on this image. I will duplicate my background layer by pressing Command J, and I'm going to set that to color burn mode, which gives some punch to the background. Pull it back a bit. But I want to remove it from off the face, so I use a white mask, black in the color picker over here, B for brush, so I'm going to use a black brush at 100%, pull back a little bit, and I'm going to remove that bright color from off of her face and her arm, leaving some of it in the hands because I want her image to be integrated with the background, like so. Back a little bit. And when I get it looking the way I want it, I'm going to merge the layers. You don't have to, but I like to do that. And then I'm going to use one of my actions called Golden Glow, which gives a nice yellow look, a sunny look to the image. And the last thing I will do is add a levels layer to just give it a little more punch. And you get it where you want it. And now I'm just going to apply this to her face. So I'm going to right click on the white mask and produce a black one by hitting my Alt key and the mask button again. That creates a black mask. And a white brush, so white in the color picker, B for brush, and I'm going to paint in my levels adjustment onto her face and bring out the blacks and the whites. Back a little bit, and there you have the finished image.